Hi, my name is Mark Green, and today I would like to talk to you about the effects caffeine has on the body. It is safe to say that most individuals have felt the effect of caffeine at some point in their lives. Unless you have never ingested an over-the-counter medication, tea, coffee, chocolate, or cola, you have been exposed to caffeine. The smell of fresh brewed coffee in the morning. It has the ability to awaken the deepest of sleepers, and with the promise that the effects of caffeine are on their way. Caffeine is one of the most widely consumed stimulants in the world, and over 80% of Americans induce caffeine on a daily basis. Caffeine is so popular among today's society that coffee houses are popping up everywhere and across the world. Faithful patrons flock to order their favorite brewed coffee of magical awareness, willing the sensation of energy and alertness their coffee or tea will provide them. The effects of caffeine have almost become a necessity to allow individuals to function in such a fast-paced, demanding society. Between sleepless nights and harrowing deadlines, caffeine has become the wonder drug of sorts. So what is in caffeine that gives us this energy and this burst? I'm glad you asked. Caffeine is a naturally occurring substance that is usually found in coffee beans, leaves, tea leaves, and cocoa. When caffeine is ingested, it acts as a stimulant for the central nervous system. And when you drink a caffeinated beverage, your body quickly absorbs the drug in the lining of the stomach. And within a few moments, you will begin to feel the effects of caffeine, becoming more alert and awake. Caffeinated beverages vary in their level of caffeine due to being unregulated by the Food and Drug Administration. The most potent form of caffeine is in the form of a tablet. They usually pack a punch of 200 milligrams per caffeine per tablet and should be taken only with extreme cases of drowsiness. A cup of brewed coffee usually has 100 milligrams of caffeine per serving. 1 cup of espresso usually has around the same, roughly 100 milligrams per serving. 1 soda has 15 to 30 milligrams per serving, and 1 cup of tea has 15 to 50 milligrams per serving. But your energy drinks have 74 milligrams per serving. A whopping 74 milligrams. That's a lot of caffeine. In general, the effects of caffeine can vary from person to person. Caffeine is able to create a sense of alertness, usually within an hour after ingesting it. That's how quick it gets into the system. And the effects wear off usually between 3 to 4 hours afterwards. So caffeine is not intended to replace sleep. And I have to say that again. Caffeine is not intended to replace sleep, but instead is used to fend off the feelings of extreme drowsiness. When consumed in reasonable amounts, usually around 100 milligrams or less per dosage, the stimulant can help you get through your most sluggish moments of the day. It says there's 2 side effects of caffeine that are your increased heart rate and your increased resting metabolic rate. If you are prone to any kind of heart condition, it is advised by doctors that you limit your intake of caffeinated beverages. Also, your body size counts. It's a tolerance that you have. So your body size and your tolerance are the 2 crucial factors, as well as how much caffeine that you take on a regular basis. So you want to think twice about the 2nd and 3rd cup of coffee. Other effects of caffeine is an increased need or desire to urinate. If you have consumed caffeine in large quantities over a period, you find it hard to sleep, and that's called insomnia. This is because too much caffeine consumed can cause you to develop or developing a caffeine-induced sleep disorder. If you enjoy your caffeinated drink in the evening or at night, you may want to choose a decaffeinated version. When consumed in overly large quantities, caffeine can result in what is coined as caffeinism, or an overdependence on caffeinated beverages. That means that you're addicted to caffeine. Individuals who overuse caffeine as stimulants are more susceptible to caffeineism, which can trigger a slew of caffeinated-induced disorders. One disorder is caffeine intoxication. And caffeine intoxication is a condition that occurs when you consume 1 or 400 milligrams of caffeine at one time or any given time, which is equivalent to 3 or 4 cups of brewed coffee. When this occurs, you experience a flushing of the face, extreme irritability, anxiety, muscle twitching, increased urination, and an increased heartbeat. In extreme cases, caffeine intoxication can result in death if consumed in large quantities. If you feel like you are consuming too much caffeine, it is time to stop. It is a smart time to start limiting your intake of caffeine. When your body is accustomed to caffeine, cutting out your supply of energy can have dire effects. The most common side effects you will experience is a headache. To avoid getting severe headaches and feeling extremely sluggish, take it slow and easy when reducing your intake of caffeine. Be aware of medications of food that contain caffeine. Many times, people will take over-the-counter medications without even knowing what's in it or how much caffeine they are consuming. It is important to read labels. Please believe me, it is important to read labels because moderation is key when it comes to caffeine. As with most things in life, caffeine has its good and bad sides. Yet, just because the effects of caffeine can trigger negative reactions to your body doesn't mean that you have to go completely without the stimulants. Having a cup of coffee or 2 in the morning isn't going to ruin your health. In fact, some studies have shown a cup of coffee to be beneficial to the body. So instead of using caffeine as a substitute for sleep, be wise about your consumption of this overpopulated stimulant or overpopular stimulant and drink it in moderation because moderation is key. For most of us, the best part of waking up is that the steaming Java cup of coffee is waiting for each and every one of us to devour. Thank you.